And happy Friday. Thank you for tuning in with me. Drop a line, tell me where you're from, say hi. Rose Ward, stampersdelight.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today what I decided to work on and showcase is our beautifully braided bundle. I'll show you that in a minute. First, let me get started with a couple of reminders, and my pad is right here. Okay. So I just want to remind you to go to stampersdelight.com. I do have some online classes there, and I'd love for you to join me. One is with Donna G from Australia. We do a monthly online class. She takes one set, I take the other. And if you live in the United States, you can order through me, but you would get her video for hers and my video for mine. Okay, so it's kind of like a collaboration. We'd love to have you join us. The other thing I wanted to remind you is that we are doing a fundraiser for Australia. That's a private Facebook page. It's going to be about 48 hours of nonstop videos from over 20 demonstrators around the world to help the Australia firefighters. So if you're interested in that, just contact me, stampersdelight.com, or go right to Donna's page, stampingwithdonnag.com. And there is a PayPal button to pay for that, okay? It's approximately $21 US money. Anyone in the world can join that page. And while I'm mentioning that, on our online classes, if you live in another country and you want to order our videos, you can get our videos, either mine or Donna's, okay? Just go to stampersdelight.com or contact me. So I'm still waiting to see if anybody's on. Hopefully you are. The other thing is you're going to want to stay till the end because I do have a giveaway, and I will have another giveaway for next Friday morning. And that's it for my notes there. The next thing I want to remind you that it is celebration time. So anything you order that qualifies, you will get something free out of the mini catalog or the celebration catalog. If it's a $50 item you want out of here, then you... one item, then you purchase $50. Good morning, Bunny. And you can order it from the annual catalog or the mini catalog. This is the mini. And for qualifying purchases, you get something free from there. Also, if you need catalogs, just contact me. Rose Ward, stampersdelight.com. Okay? So, as I always say, grab your coffee, grab your tea, come stamp with me. Let's get started. Okay, so let's put the coffee over here. And you can find the beautifully braided bundle on page 29. And you want to get it as a bundle because then you can save 10%. The other option is to get it as part of your starter kit, which is in the back of the celebration catalog. Okay, and here you can get $125 of free merchandise, not free merchandise, $125 of merchandise for $99. And right now you can also get a sampler pack of our designer series paper, another stamp set of your choice, and this great little paper trimmer. Let me tell you, this is always with me. It is awesome. You cannot buy that, but you can get it in the starter kit. And just go to stampersdelight.com and click on the button that says Join the Fun and become part of my team. I actually have an in-person team meeting on Sunday, so I won't be back on Facebook Live on Sunday evenings like I am, okay? So I'll be back on Friday morning at 7 a.m. However, I will have some new YouTube videos, so check me out on YouTube under Stampers Delight. And this is my host code for the month. Okay, so let's just move that out of the way. And let's get started. So here is this beautiful braided punch. Now I'm going to be punching up so you can see, but it's a lot easier if you punch down. And it also has this grid here so you can line it up. Good morning, Meg. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Terry. And here is the stamp set. It's got some beautiful sayings and some really nice images. Okay, so first I'm going to show you a couple of cards that I've done with it. Now this is my early week at work, so I have to go go to work a little bit earlier. When I'm on the late shift, which is only 15 minutes difference, but it does make a difference in how long my videos are. So, all right, anyway. So here's the first card I'm going to show you. And this is a simply stamped card, just stamping with layers. Okay, and if you'd like to see how I did this one, I could do that in my next video. Just let me know. Leave me a message. Okay, and then, of course, this is the inside. Can you see how I did that? Okay, so this is the first sample I have to show you. The next sample, and this is with the Rococo Rose. This one is, the cardstock is Blueberry Bushel. Hi, Francis. Hi, Danette. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Kathy. So this is the Blueberry Bushel. And then this is my Night and Navy blends. So you can see that I use the braided here, the punch, and then another little paper here, another piece of cardstock. Stamped it and then colored it in the blends. And if you can see, I did some Wink of Stella on there. And of course I used my rhinestones, which, where do I have my rhinestones? Right here. So they are the pretty peacock. Noble Peacock. And then that's the inside. And you can see I stamped some of the inside too. Oh, thank you, Danette. The next sample I'm going to show you is where I did the coordinating envelope. It was 6x6. And when you cut your 6x6 to make a card here, sorry, I was reading a message. Okay, so I cut the 6x6 paper. This is 3 3/4 by 5. You have this strip left over, and of course I always use it for my envelope. Now you can see I have a little white here. I could have pushed that down a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It matches very nice. And here what I did was I took the braided piece that I had punched out and I intertwined our new mint macaroon ribbon, or mint macaron, depending how you say it. Okay, and then of course here I used 2 of our new punches, the lovely punches. These are in the mini catalog. And the paper is from the Best Dressed Suite. And then of course I added some of the Noble Peacock rhinestones. And then inside, of course, I used that long stamp. So that was another card that I did. I'm going to bring in this one first. This is another one I used with our new sprinkles. And everything will be in the description, okay? Our watercolor crystals. Okay, and this one, just, you know, I sprinkled some of it on. And this is the Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. And then stamped over it. I am actually going to do this. And then, of course, the inside. So let me just show you. And you can do this. So you can see this is a Bermuda Bay color, but it's got some other colors in the crystals. So let's do that one first. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my cardstock. And this is Bermuda Bay. This is half a sheet of cardstock. Then I have my layering here. And this is actually 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of our watercolor paper, which is 3 3/4 by 5. So that layers up just like that. Okay. So there's a couple different ways you can do the sprinkles. And I'm going to use well, if I can find it, I'm going to use it. Here we go. Our aqua painter. Okay, you can also spritz it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squirt some water down here. Get it a little wet. Then I'm going to take my crystals. And you can see they coordinate with our colors. I'm going to take the Bermuda Bay. This might get on your hands. Okay, a lot of times I use like those cheap gloves at the dollar store, and gently tap some of this on. You can see there's other colors in it, and let this dry. Less is more, okay? Don't put too much on it. You can always add. I'm going to let that dry. Now, if I wanted to, once it dries and I don't like it, I can add some more water to it. Let me just show you. Like, I can push that out. You see how I'm pushing that color out? Maybe this is too dark, so you want to push some of that color out. You can even make a flower. There we go. Look at that. And then just let it soak into the paper. Another thing you can do is let it soak and see how the print comes out. You can also turn it over if you're in a hurry. I'm just showing you different things you can do with it. And just let it soak into this paper. Yes, please share my video. That gets me more followers, which helps me do more videos. Okay, so now you see I took a lot of that off, so it made it a lot lighter. And I can go ahead and add more color to it if I wanted to. So if you're in a hurry or you didn't like it and you wanted to take some of that color off, you could just do what I did. I'm just going to put that aside for a minute. I'm going to bring in a piece that's already dry. And you can see that I've already let this one dry. Now I'm going to decide which way I want it. I think I want it this way. I'm going to bring in my stamp. And for this, I'm using Memento. You could actually use StazOn if you wanted to, but I have my Memento here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just squish this. Now, on our regular stamp pads, tap, tap, tap is the way you want to use it. Okay, this one is a felt, heavier one, so you can squish it, okay, because you really want to get a good image. Now, this is a see-through or photopolymer stamp. So you want to use our cushion. I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to stamp my image. Now I'm going to stand up for a second. This is a large image, so I want to give it a lot of pressure, especially in the middle. And there's my image. Okay. Now for this one, and I absolutely love this ribbon. This ribbon is in our annual catalog. Okay, this is our Whisper White tool. Let me just move this out of the way. I'm going to bring in my other piece of cardstock and grab my, I have my old fast fuse here, so we'll just grab that one. I have everything over here but my regular snail. I'm going to go ahead. Any glue will do, okay? Your snail, your Tombow, and I'm going to go ahead and press that down. Okay, so this is going to be a thank you card. I go through a lot of thank you cards. Now, let me show you the difference. I had a nice big piece of white area here, which I could stamp right on there. I don't really see a good area to do that where it'll show up, so I'm going to use black instead. I'm going to use the black right here. This way it shows up. I'm going to take our white tool. I'm going to go ahead and, this is actually at the end, so I'm just going to roll it out. I don't need all that, but it's easier to tie. I'm going to go ahead and tie this into a bow. There we go. One thing I love about this ribbon, it really is easy to tie. Very pliable. I tie it in a knot first because it's thin enough. And you can see I do my bows upside down. And then I flip it around. Works for me. There we go. Grab my scissors so that I can cut this. Which the scissors are right here. My ribbon scissors. I'm just going to cut, piece that tail off. I can trim it afterwards. And then I'm going to bring in my card base. I love these crystals. And again, they coordinate with our cardstock and inks. And just to show you the difference, now I'm going to bring in Tombow. And I'll glue it down with Tombow. So you can use anything that works for you, anything that you have. Going to layer that right there. The nice thing about the Tombow is it does dry pretty quick, but you have time to move it around. Oh, Kathleen, I'm glad you caught me live. Okay, now for the inside. Okay, this one has a saying, friendship refreshes your soul. So let's just grab that. And I'll do that in the Bermuda Bay. Whoop, forgot my mat, but that's okay. It came out okay. And then here's one of the images. What I'm going to do is stamp that off. Stamp it right over there. So it just gives it a little depth there. Okay. And again, I'm just going to use my Tombow. I'm starting to use Tombow more and more. And see, this is what I mean. If it goes on crooked, you can move it around. Got a little bit of a leeway there. Whoop. Just put my finger in that ink. So again, you know, drop in, say hi, let me know where you're from. Share my videos. By sharing my videos, it helps me keep doing them. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some glitter dots. These are in the annual catalog. Take my Take Your Pick tool, best friend ever. And I don't think I'm going to do it the same way. You see how I did this? I put those glitter dots all around. I'm going to do it a little bit different. And you will be able to see the still shots on my blog later. Oh, this one doesn't want to come off. Okay, these are really stuck down there. Okay. Stampersdelight.com. This one I'm going to put there. Then there's 3 sizes. Oh, actually, there's 4 sizes. So I'm going to do this. I think I'll put one here. And one here. Okay, there you go. Something a little bit different. If you wanted to add some Wink of Stella, you could also do that. You can go ahead and color that on the with the Wink of Stella. Let me bring that in. I'm just doing this one a little bit different. Make sure it's on here. Ooh, that one's almost out. I have to get another one. See if I can get some of this out. There it goes. I'm just adding. This paper is a little thicker, so it might take a little bit of extra Wink of Stella. There we go. It's coming out now. And I could have actually done that before I glued it all together. Okay, I'll admit it was an afterthought. Okay. So now it has a little bit of glitter to it. Can you see the shiny? So there's 2 different cards. Same idea, just a little bit different, using our crystals, our watercolor crystals. Now I'm going to bring in the next card. So I didn't have as many samples as I usually do, but I am stamping 2 cards for you. Okay, so this one, and again, I will put the dimensions on the video later, okay? This is my next card. You can see it's a little shiny. That's because it's got a piece of our window sheet there. So it's got the braided pieces on the side here. So this is my little fancy fold for today. And when you open it up, you can see the saying right through there. Okay. Okay, so let me show you how I did that. Okay, so bring in my pieces. And again, all the dimensions will be, let me just grab this, will be on my Facebook page later and also on my blog. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a piece of my designer series paper. This is 6x6 because that's how it comes. That's with the Best Dress Suite. I'm going to bring in my card base. I know the card base looks smaller. Yes, it is. This is actually 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. Okay, and it's scored at 1 inch. So it's scored, I already scored it with my paper trimmer. It's scored like that. Okay. And then this piece of window sheet, which I cut down, the window sheet is 4 by 5 and it should be 4 by 5 1/4. If you have a little hanging off, it's okay, but mine isn't. It's perfectly there. Okay, so again, let me just make sure I got that right. Yeah, it's 5 1/4. Okay, so that's the window sheet, 4 by 5 1/4. And then, of course, this is the inside piece, which is also 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, now I need to cut the designer series paper because I need these strips, and you can also use strips that you have. That's actually what these were, strips left over, but I wanted to do it in the pink. So the strips, you need 2 strips that are, I'm sorry, 3 strips that are also, I want to cut these for you. They're also 4 1/4 by 1 inch. So let me do that. So I got 1 inch. And remember, I need 3 of these. You'll see why in a minute. But again, if you have strips left over and they're not quite 1 inch, use them. You have a little color left. And then because this is thin, I can go ahead and do all 3. And I want that at 4 1/4. It will cut through these once I bend that paper through there. Should have just did it the right way and slid it. Okay, so this is 4 1/4. See, I got some of this ink on my hand. Okay, you can save those and use those for something else, I'm sure. Alright, so now I have my 3 strips. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with the card base is I'm going to layer that up. Now, I don't want that underneath because it'll show through. If that makes sense. I want it right here. So I'm going to take my snail or whichever glue you're using, and I'm just putting a piece of snail right there. I'm layering this window sheet right on top of the card, because I'm going to go ahead, let me just move that because it's too, I want to make sure it's not, I might have to trim my window sheet. There we go. This should work. My window sheet's a little bit too long. That's what I said. I'm going to trim that now. Now I'm using my little paper trimmer. I just need a smidge. Just a smidge. Now let's layer that. You want it to meet at the bottom. There we go. Now these strips go right on top so that you don't see the glue on here. Okay. So when you open it up, you don't see any glue here. All right. Let's put that aside for a second and bring in the punch. Okay, now normally what I would do is I would punch it like this. I'll just show you here. Okay, I would bring it through like this and then line it up right here. And I have to stand for that. Lining it up to this mark and hoping that it works while I'm on live TV. Yeah, it's working fine. But I can also flip it this way and line it up this way. So I wanted to show you both ways. Okay, so here I'm lining it up this way. It's a little easier if you do it down. And I'm just going to go through that whole strip. I love this braided punch. That's going to be a little bit smaller, but okay. Yeah, I get my, Megan's asking how I keep my window sheet so clean. Well, let me show you a little trick. Use a glass, you know, if you wear glasses like I do, these are actually cheaters. Okay? You can use one of those little glass cleaners to clean it off. Okay? I'm just going to go right through here. Almost done. I'm just going to pull that out. And I got a lot of paper or leftovers here. Oh, no garbage. I'll just throw it on the floor. Sweep it up later. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my scissors and cut the rest of this off. Now, I may have to make another strip, okay? Because it's got to be, I don't measure it, but you can. Okay, so this is going to go, oh, and you see, this is going to go underneath. And I should have done that. Whoops, sorry. This should have gone underneath. Messed that up, didn't I? That's okay. I still have a little give there. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, and I'm just going to cut that off. Don't worry about it straight. You're going to cover it up. And this one's going to go right under here. This is where your take your pick tool comes in. See? Ooh, good. Worked out fine. This is going to go right under here. Okay, make sense? And then I'm going to cut this one off. As my friend Win Ann says, there's no mistakes in stamping, just creative differences. So this, I'm going to just go up there with my Tombow, because I can get into that little nook and cranny there. And just press that down. So you want to put this piece on before you put your designer series paper there. Okay? And we're just going to let that dry. While that's drying, I'm going to bring in my white, piece of Whisper white cardstock. Excuse me. I am going to bring in my lovely lipstick and my Memento. Now this one I did in purple. Actually, I think I'll do it the same way so I can show you how I did that. Let me grab my stamp and clean that off. Just remember, I used it in black. So we definitely don't want to put black in our lovely lipstick. Just clean that off real quick. So I'm bringing in my scrub, stamp and scrub. Just getting that black off. These are things you definitely want to use. And then I'm going to ink this up with my lovely lipstick. When it's a big stamp like that, this is how I do it, upside down, okay? Yes, the punch is great. And there's so many more things I wanted to do with it. So many things to do, not enough time. Okay, and I'm just going to lay that right down and press that down. And I got a nice look here. Now, also in this stamp set, you have this little blurb or blob. Okay, and I wanted to show you how I got that color. You can color these. Your blends would look great with it. Like this one. Stampin' Blends look great. But what I did was I took that little blurb or blob and I inked it off once. I don't want it that dark. And some of them, it matches up perfect. It's like a watercolor. Okay, so you can see that it goes off the side, but that's okay. Some of them, it's not big enough. But again, it's going to come out fine because it's a watercolor effect. This one I'm going to have real light. There we go. So there. Now, if you don't like that and you want to add some more color to it, you can. But I like that effect. Then I'm going to come in with my blends. I'm going to add a little green to it, so I have Old Olive. Just going to flick a little. Now, for this one, I would actually use the nubby side. But since I already got this side, I'm just adding some green to it. Let me follow up with the light. And I am going to use the nub side is perfect. blend that in. Again, the nice thing about this, because this is a watercolor effect and it's off the flower, if you go off with the blends, kind of looks like it's supposed to. I know this squeaks a little bit. Then I'm going to bring in my yellow, and the yellows I have here are the daffodil. So I got my dark daffodil. And I think I'm just going to go with the dark because I really want it to show up. Okay, now, here's something I want to show you. Okay, so you can leave it like that and have the white. But pinks and reds with the Wink Stella, they tend to bleed a little bit. And I always tell people to be careful. But this is actually when you want them to bleed, because let me show you what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm taking the Wink Stella and I'm adding some shimmer. But do you see that little pink up there? See that white right there? You'll see it better in a second. Okay, when I pick up the Wink Stella picks up some of the color, and it's actually blending it so that you have some pink in there. Make sense? So you can see what I'm doing with the Wink Stella, and it's actually making some of that lovely lipstick move around a little bit. There you go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a saying here, your smile. Let's see what I used. Kindness comes in many ways, but always from the heart. This one I'm going to put your smile brightens my day. Now I really want that to show up, so I am going to ink it up in the black. And I want to make sure I get a good image. I'm watching my time here. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll put this one right here. Okay. Bring in my card base again. Now this is going to go right down here underneath my window sheet. Get the edges. Okay, so that's going to show like that. Okay, so the other piece, when you cut your cardstock, you're going to have leftover pieces, and you need one more piece, which is 4 1/4 by 1, or you can make it smaller. That's for the bottom right here. Okay, so this I'm going to go ahead and glue down right on top of that. And that's actually going to hold that braided edge down. Remember, I have 2 more pieces. This is going to go right here. You don't really need a saying for the inside if you have it up far enough. Mine is hiding here, so that's okay. Okay, do that. This is why you have the 3rd piece, so that you don't see this. So I'm going to flip that around. Put that right there. Okay. Now, I put my saying down here so that you don't see it like you see this one. So let's see, what do we have here? Let's grab something and put that on there. Let's grab a punch. How about my lovely label punch, or one of my lovely punches? Let's see. Will this one fit in there? Yep, this one fits fine. Make sure it's clean. Take the lovely lipstick. Just stamp that right here. I love these friendship sayings. They're beautiful. Bring in my punch. If you need to trim that, because this is just a leftover piece I had. Good morning, Marlene. Good morning, Anne Marie. Let me punch that. And this can go right here. Now, or up here. Or right there. I kind of like it right there. Let's put it right there. Now, you only need glue on a little bit because it's going to be up like that. Then I'm going to bring in my champagne. Champagne rhinestones. And just decorate it. Maybe one right there. I can get carried away with them. Put one there and there. Okay. There you go. You have the same card, little different. Basic idea is the same. And again, remember, I will put the dimensions on the Facebook page and my blog later. Okay, so let's bring in the other cards so I can show you real quick. And then I'm going to do the giveaway and tell you what I'm giving away next Friday morning. Okay, so this was another one of the cards. Now you see I put the gems or the rhinestones down here. You can hardly see it, but if you see it in person, it's really nice. Love, love, love this new stamp set and punch. Remember, get it as a bundle and you save 10%. Still shots will be on my blog later today. Here it is with the water crystals. And then, of course, this one. Okay, let me flip the camera. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, so if you'd like information, more information on these products that I've used or any other products, contact me, stampersdelight.com. So the giveaway today is this cute little grab bag. Now, I do have to tell you, if you have to be in the United States for me to send things, okay? So please let me know if you win and you're out of the United States. I will still send you one of my cards, okay? So let's see who's going to win this one. Give me 1 second. My computer's over here today. And remember, you have a week to contact me, okay? You have to listen for your name. All right. And this one is going to Betty Taylor Clark. Betty Taylor Clark, get in touch with me for your address so I can get this out to you. Now let me show you what I'm giving away next Friday morning. This is from anyone, for anyone who shares my video. I will be pulling a name. Remember, let me know that you're in the U.S. If you're outside the U.S., please share my videos. If I pick your name, I will still send you one of my cards to use. Next Friday, for the lucky winner is going to win this little ladybug hostess set. So share my videos, share this video, and next Friday morning I will pull a name to get this. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great weekend. I will see you back here next Friday morning. Remember, I won't be on Sunday night. I have my team meeting. Have a great weekend, and keep on stamping, Stampers. Bye.